Oh my God, it's the sheriff. Put your boobs in the air right now where I can see them. See? Put your boobs behind your back. In the name of the law. Well, you know, my lady, down here in the South, we ain't take too kindly to them illegal boobs down here. So if you would do me such a kindness and put the boobs behind your back. Where's my Oscar? Where is my Oscar? Well, sir, I say, sir, good evening. Ladies, lasses, come closer. Good evening. Ladies, lasses, welcome to... There we go. That is just the right amount of uncomfortably close. You have been arrested for looking smexy. That is right. Today, we're gonna look at Men Writing Women, which is a lot of bahonka badonka dorkers, and a lot of big bahunka zunka donkers that is equivalent to character development. And I do hope that you enjoyed this beautiful piece of sophisticated literature. Especially you, Evelyn. I didn't forget about you, Evelyn. Oh my God. Are you in for a treat, Evelyn? I hope you're in for a treat, Evelyn. It's kind of like a trick-or-treating, Evelyn, but it's only treats here on the Clicky Wiki Thicky channel. Yes, Evelyn. Though, notices, click. I have hair everywhere. That's good, I guess. I'm not going bold, at least. Women only love their children because during childbirth, when the baby's head crowns the vajayjay, it's the hardest a woman ever in her whole life. Women's narcissism knows no bounds. The only thing they truly love is Satan. Ah! Oh, women, how dare you do the baby out squeezies for your for your own pleasure's sake? Yeah, because that's how it works. What's your source for this? Trust me, bro. We asked if it's pleasant to give birth. We asked a man. La 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 la. She's so well developed. Hard to believe she's 9 years. So hard to believe she's... I'm sorry, what? Dave woke to a gentle breeze through the window, kissing his morning semi. He wiggled his hips from side to side, making his lob on wave hello to the morning. He thought about putting boxers on before going to make the morning coffee, but decided to bare ball it instead as a treat. His pee-pee fristed towards the stairs, his pee-pee floating between him, still half-mast before willy-wobbing down the stairs. It was so beautiful, and it was also his whole character. Oh, life is hard, just like the pee-pee. Ah, they got me. Wait, I'm still alive. Thank God the Bible in my pocket stopped the bullet. Definitive Bible of synonyms for boobs. Everything from knockers to gazongas. Love myself a good pair of gazongas behind my sheriff badge, if I may say so myself. Fruitful vine, etc., etc. Distressed contraceptor. Self-care is 10 hours of video games. Still anxious later. Don't love my video games. Ramen and takeout. Think dogs are just as good as kids. Force is part of good vibes. And here's the blessed baby acceptor. Gives self entirely to others. Couldn't be happier. Children gravitate to her. Naughty drive, not suppressed by artificial hormones. You see how intellectually stimulating this... If my brain could barf, it would do it now. From Isaac Babel's Red Cavalry, 1926. And she came over to Sack Street. Yeah, her boobas bobbing on her high heels. Squirmed like an animal in a sack. I imagine it's something like... You know those little cartoon characters that are just feet on top of heads? Yeah, kind of like that, but instead of a head, it's just a big booba. And it goes something like this. The literature, it's just soul-squeezingly abundant. Female anus too close to vajayjay. I have been with a few women in my life, if I may say so myself, and I do. And one thing I've noticed is that the female bum is incredibly close to the vajayjay. In fact, they're barely an inch apart. I'm not sure about other guys, but doesn't this disturb you? I feel like it's a design flaw in women, actually. Like, they're supposed to be so feminine and beauty, yet this ghastly little oversight is ruining everything. Somehow it feels to me that women should be more aware of this flaw, so it should affect their confidence. They have a butt. You're to be ashamed for having a butt. Whether I see a so-called beautiful woman walking down the street carefree, thinking she is all that, I just remember her butt is only 1 inch away from her and laugh her into oblivion. That's just human anatomy, though. Doesn't this the same go for men? Your balls are kind of close to your butt. Poopy balls. Poopy balls. I would say shots fired, but, you know, as the sheriff in town, I have to be a bit more responsible. Women, please accept that the two close together let it negatively affect your confidence and make yourselves more readily available naughtily as a result. Oh, that's convenient. After all, we're having to sleep with a creature whose butt is only 1 inch away from the vajayjay. You should not make it this difficult. It's unappetizing enough as it is. We're doing you a favor. Don't you think it cancels out that the badonka dangly ballers are close to our badata bappa pooper? Men, do not let women forget this flaw and do not forgive them. What is this incel gadonka honka garbage? Remind them of it constantly, lest to get inflated egos and think they're all that. They're just too close together, sorry, but it's true. Oh, you're feeling good today, honey? Well, you have a butt that's close to other things on your body. Wow. Yeah, I have so much game. The moral coward's dwarf design. There is simply no way to tell. Smexual and smexy, there's a... I need a childbearing hips and waist. No, the far superior dwarf design. Beards and shoulders for everyone. Don't they joke about this in Lord of the Rings? I could never tell if it was actually a joke or not, when they're like, oh, here is a picture of my wife, and she has the best beard in the family. Woo. Just like a woman, everything I do is for your own good, but you're too scatterbrained and emotional to realize it. Well, alright, I can play your way too, Miss Storm. Oh gosh, go polish a test tube or something. That man, I know he's right, and that's why I'm angry. If only he understood females better. I'm gonna go out on a limb and think that no female has talked to themselves like this ever in the history of everything. Just putting it out there. You make my panties so wet. She squirmed. Don't blame me, I said. You should have taken them off the line before I turned on the sprinkler. Ah, silly twist. Smoky and dirty. Then I took them to the Sphinx, where women naked under their smart tawdry evening dresses, their boobas, nips, and all exposed, sit in a row on 2 benches opposite. So you're basically making the argument everybody's naked underneath. I can just imagine his balls being all nude underneath his garments. So here we have a female knight and very high heels. It seems inconvenient, but then you realize maybe the heels are actually hidden blades, and it totally makes sense. Yeah, male authors, female characters cutting their hair.
Is this character development?
The dragon with a girl tattoo. Description. Lysra breaths elementary is young and beautiful. Her scales has an iridescent sheen. Her wings arch proudly. Her breath has a tang of sulfur. And on her back a tattoo of a mythical creature, a gorl. But when Lys breath is drawn to the dark conspiracy, she will have to rely on more than her beauty and her vicious claw the size of sabers. A dragon has disappeared, one of a selective clan, as Lyssa breath delves deeper. Oh, so the lusty Argonian maid actually exists. There is a mod for Skyrim for a follower that is called Sophia, and this follower has like these really funny comments about stuff in the game, and one of the comments is like,
I once borrowed a copy of the Lusty Argonian Maid, but the pages were like all sticky.
It really gets under your scales, so to say. Don't bring up females in front of me. I am disgusted with females now. They couldn't have changed Bluepool into a gay, could they? Oh, the plot. Yeah, let's return the cooked ones to them, since Becky is a foodie. Delicious food will definitely aid her in recovering from her trauma. Yes, if you're a foodie, it instantly heals everything. Wouldn't that be convenient, though? I'll just reproduce. What's the big deal? It's just that this time it will be in Curtis' presence. If Parker isn't afraid, why would I be? Yeah, let's just... Papa, I know this context is so lacking and I am really confused and scared. I'm a woman. I'm not disabled. Yeah, why is male country music like hard girls and teeny tiny shorts when I'm making my wife bear my children front porch family values casseroles, and female country music is like, oops, I killed my husband. Mandy has gone too far. It was if my girl hormones sparkles flared up to overdrive. Girl hormones! Oh, come on. Stay fit and slim by taking amphetamine. Whoa. I got this new anime plot. Basically, there's this high school girl, except she's got huge boobas. I mean, some serious hunkers. A real set of badonkers. Packing some daben hunkeroos. Massive dubunkan hankabaloos. Big tongue hunker cougars. Oh, the plot and the
anime personalities.
I am an alpha male. No, you're not. You're a butt that thinks talking over other people makes you important. Do you even know what an alpha is? They feed and protect their pack. Where's your fanny pack full of cheesy crackers, Steve? If you're out here with your buds and don't have ibuprofen, Nesoprin, and cheesy crackers with you, you are not an alpha. Oh my god, I also want a fanny pack full of crackers and I was gonna say stickers, but that's also very, very nice. New isekai manga concept. The time I got reincarnated as the of a level 1 female sword fighter. Okay, so it's basically... I thought it was a dude in a face mask first, but it's not. His eyes are just above the panty line. Wow. You know, as an Erotica editor, I've read many euphemisms for female genitalia over the years, but somehow I've managed to go nearly a decade without ever once reading the phrase, her throbbing jazz cafe, until now. I could have gone without it.
Oh my god, baby, that's a very throbbing jazz cafe you have down there.
Am I invited to the throbbiness? Oh my. So the harder wife works, the cuter she looks. Gosh, honey, you seem to thrive on cooking, cleaning, and dusting, and I'm all tuckered out by closing time. What's the answer? Vitamins, darling. I always get my vitamins. Vitamins for pep, pep for vitamins. Wow. I am your master, I commanded. You will obey my rules. She rolled her eyes and walked out of the shed. That was definitely it. I needed to get a new cat. On today's episode of If I Have to See This Shite, so do all of you. The mound of her smacks was disproportionately but beautifully high and rounded, overgrown with a luxuriant mop of long black pubic hair, not crinkly at all, but soft and feathery, and the vulva itself was of unusual plumpness, almost spherical, like a large exotic mushroom on the fork of a tree. A little pleasure dome, if I've ever seen one, where Alf and the sacred river ran down to a tideless sea. No, not tideless. Her tides were convulsive, an ebb and flow that would take you very far, far aback before hurtling you out wildly and triumphantly on a ribbon and windswept beach without end.
This man either misunderstood vajages or misunderstands spheres, and probably both.
This is what happens when you fail 5th grade geometry. Show up for my streams on Twitch, twitch.com/clicky, so you can check in my homework streams. We do them sometimes. We do math, so you don't have to become a horrible male author that describes female genitalia, but by things that don't exist. Do your math homework today, kids.
Wow, what a sales pitch. We nailed that one.
Male characters trying to write a female character in a mental breakdown like,
I am a bug, but I also have really big bazonka mahunka dorkers.
I hate it when you're reading and your boobas fall out. Oh my god, it's such a hassle. As a man, I can totally relate. This happens all the time when I'm sitting and reading and my balls just casually creep out of my pants. So you're just like, what? All over the place. And people are like, wow, those are some really nice badonka honka bola borkers. And I'm like, wow. I'm sorry for being so intellectual while my little sex mounts are leaking out all over the place.
Writers wanting to show their character is strong and independent female character be like, using their personalities and actions to show that they're strong and independent. This is brilliant, but I like this frickin' hairstyle. Woo! Oh, she said, softly moving.
I did not know it could be like this. Never before have I been locked in a man's arms in this fashion. How sweet it is, how helpless I feel. I'm beginning to become excited. Master, I'm beginning to become terribly excited. Master!
She lifted her lips suddenly to me and kissed. What? Yay! It really is so freaking funny that Padme died of just a broken heart while hooked up to 6 billion high-tech medical instruments. General Grievous is basically 2 charred muscle cells rescued from a dead body and reconstructed into a whole-ass biomechanical monster. But we can't keep Miss Amidala from being diagnosed with terminal sad. Oh no. I remember as a kid, I was so confused about these movies. I was like, wait, how did she die?
I was like, what?
Like, you have Anakin here,
He was burned to a crisp and lost like all his limbs except an arm.
oh yeah, he's fine now. He's Darth Vader and super powerful. And she's like,
Oh no, I'm sad. My boyfriend is a bad boy, so now I die.
love triangles can't exist without at least one LGBT person. Cishet just don't know how shapes work. Not a triangle is a triangle. I've created this helpful infographic. Most of the characters that people call a love triangle is really just a love corner, and the woman is usually backed into it. Or, I know who's backed into it. Someone who starts with a T and ends with opiki wapiki. Some game developers actually need to learn that when women die, they don't release the same sound they would while having a zenith of naughty experience. I saw this once when I was scrolling through mods for my Skyrim. For some reason, There was a mod that replaced all the, like, you know, panting and breathing and charge noises women made, like, ha, yeah, all that stuff, with just noises from an adult movie. So he was like, it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh no, I'm stabbed. I have a fetish for death. Oh yes.
No, that's so unrealistic.
Damn, gotta go to the gym to get your goals in order. Happy New Year's resolution. What's your New Year's resolution? Gotta get freaking muscle. A well thought out description of a female character that conveys personality and doesn't objectify or demean them. Men writing women. A boobs. Oh my god. The only focal point. Yes, indubitably. Don't you think it's like this? You know, eyes are typically the center of the face, but nips, maybe they were eyes initially in evolution, so it's actually the center of everything, and it's like looking into the eye. Anyway. Oh, shite, it's a woman. Watch out, mister, it's a woman and she's trying to parallel park. Son of a... Oh, no, the death. You usually call it aged like milk. This is just aging like a pile of manure. It just keeps smelling bad all the time.
Pleasure and pain can be experienced simultaneously,
she said, gently massaging my back as we listened to her Coldplay CD. Oh, dear God. Tonight's episode, the writer's barely disguised fetish. Okay, here's the thing. If you have stuff that you like, it's perfectly okay to, you know, mod your single-player game or, like, have fantasies for yourself or experiment with things with your significant others. Perfectly fine. But when you start taking it to, like, pushing it on everyone else and it's really cringy, that's when it ends up here. Men writing women like. Her name is Molly Stead, and she has a dark childhood secret, which is why she dresses with her weather balloon boobas almost completely exposed that bounce femininely when she prunches to the ladies' room. She hides her broken heart behind two massive badonka mahonka zorkers. Male horror authors for some reason. The man had a salt and pepper beard and smelled of brandy. He walked with confidence of a much younger man despite his haggard past. The woman had blonde hair that fell on her boobas and was tall and thin but also curvy and had petite, but also extremely noticeable boobas. Every time she breathed, you could see her nips under her shirt. She had a creamy skin and she looked like the spooky house had cupped her boobas that rose and fell as she breathed heavily. The man asked for her name in a gruff voice. His eyes fell to a crucifix hanging from a chain that fell on his boobas. Angela, she said, raising her arms, which made her big fat juggalugs swing left and right with enough momentum to knock over a candelabra. She had big whooping milkers, the man thought. Very cool, said the man as he proceeded to single-handedly exercise the house in a very macho fashion, while Angela got repeatedly roundhouse kicked down the stairs by the spooky ghost. She got roundhouse kicked behind the stairs. It was fine though. She landed on her big soft bahonka mazonka dorkers that landed softly, and then she squirmed, oh no, my bazonka badonka bonka horker. Is Lola Bunny a tomboy? Lola Bunny is a cartoon character from Warner Bros. Studios. She is very attractive, unbearably beautiful, insanely smexy female tomboy, and from back it up a bit. Sooner or later, your wife will drive home in one of the best reasons of owning a Volkswagen. Women are soft and gentle, but they hit things. Things that don't age well, because they weren't good to start with. I think it's a pretty good fit for like all the retro stuff in this video. Mr. Ja, I don't know why it gets like this every morning. There's something poking me in the back. What? Oh my god. Sometimes the way men write women reminds me of whenever Captain Holt pretends to be a straight in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You know, I'm still getting over the tragic loss of my wife. She was such a strong female woman with heavy, nice badonka mahonka dorkers. Modern liberated women in 60 years. Why do my nudes not sell anymore? Oh, and my son will come visit me and was conceived in a one-night stand. He never met his father. Don't blah blah blah. Catholic woman in 60 years. My second son just had his third child. A cute baby girl, the Baptist, in 6 months. Content creators were like between the ages of, 20 and 30 most of the time. Some older, some a little bit younger, but that's typically the average. In 60 years, we'll be either retired or dead. I don't see why this is so freaking like, oh my god, in 60 years. So, who gives a shit? Small-busted women have big hearts. Oh dear God. Small-busted women are much less threatening to other women. They make friends easier and less selfish, which all contributes to the growth of their hearts. Small-busted women are noticed for a lovely face. Men see their hair, their smile, their eyes. Can wear tight sweaters without being embarrassed or without being unwanted center of attention. Can sunbathe topless on gay beaches. Are appreciated for themselves, their personalities, their abilities. Small-busted women never have to wonder why they got the job. I'm guessing the thing they were going for with this book is like, oh, let's make something so young ladies don't have to feel insecure for not having that specific feature. But at the same time, you just crap over the ones that have that feature and also make it into like a really weird vibe. People look different and everyone has different preferences and you are yourself. And one thing I've noticed in the world, especially in the digital age when everything is so incredibly accessible, is that we have this tendency to compare ourselves to others and wish that we were different. But we often only compare ourselves with one single metric at a time. For example, if you want to be a singer, it's very easy to only compare yourself to professional singers, while in reality you probably have things going for you that most professional singers don't, because they focus all their time on that specific thing. The same goes, for example, if you focus on models or bodybuilders, that kind of thing. It's not comparable because you probably do a lot of things they don't do. So you are your own person in your own full glory, and comparing one single feature doesn't do you justice, and it's not something you should necessarily do. Easier said than done, but it's a pretty wholesome twist on it that is pretty good to remember. And it's a lesson that I try to learn myself sometimes as well, when I find myself caring way too much about what someone else does that I look up to, or someone who I believe is better than myself at something. It's like, well, I also do this thing over here. I'm not all that bad, right? Right? I've never seen a one-sentence headline contradict itself. TJ Miller's wife is making a name for herself in New York. Writing Erotica, her smell was irresistible, like a freshly opened pack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Why has nobody made a perfume that smells like freshly opened Pokemon cards? Why isn't that a thing? That would be beautiful. It would be... maybe that's the next thing I do. New merch! Pokemon card perfume.
Female spy starter pack seduces some idiot guy, has the most lethal tiny weapon. Wears the Yushanka if in Russia, has the little pew-pew. Does the little kicky thing has this dress. How do we know it's true?
Susie Cream Cheese. The asked nervously. She was a nervous little 15-year-old. What the no more than 5 feet tall, but boys loved her. For 2 good reasons, at least 40 inches of them, barely restrained in a narrow halter top. Fat dipped, pushing the kid. I don't want to read this. Who wrote this and was like, yeah, people are gonna want to read this? Are these even written by humans? Are these just aliens testing us to just send this garbage down to Earth and see how we react?
Love's baby soft because innocent is smexier than you think. Dear God, what?
Attention men! Sergeant Dave and Teddy want to remind you. If on her skin she has a doodle, never ever let her touch your noodle. Tattoos are a sure sign that women are syphilitic, what? Mentally unsound and possibly from Quebec or America, Canada? What the Sergeant Dave, who hurt you?
I can't take anymore,
she cried, exhausted after 3 hours bent over the desk. It was no good. She just couldn't remember her password.
Female characters cuts her own hair in a dirty mirror with a hunting knife. Her hair in the next scene. Oh my God.
I know, right? It do be like that. It do be like that. I'll rip my hair in half with a rock and... Man, if that was the case, I would never go to the barber. I would just go to the backyard and like scrape my head with a rock and it would look like this. Freaking beautiful. Cop, can you describe the woman who stabbed you? Male author. Lithe, spirited, outgoing, and not afraid to speak her mind. She was a raw, smexual force, and she knew it. She was a dandelion fluff on a summer day, gone in an instant, leaving you with nothing but the memory of her touch and the faint taste of strawberries on your lips. Great, we have a motive, but we still need a description.
I'm not like other girls.
I don't like drama, she said, as she morphed into an unknown geometries and eldritch vestibules. Madness fills the hindbrains of all her male friends. She only had male friends. I don't like the drama of girls.
Oh, calm down, Stacy. Oh,
So you consider yourself an aspiring writer. Describe this woman in your best prose. He was stunned by the effortless beauty of her trouseland, chestnut hair, and the deep, mesmerizing chocolate of her eyes. Or at least he would have been if he could have pulled his eyes away from her jig-ass jiggly jogglers. Please read this. Myself over her, then drag my boobas across her back, just barely touching her skin with them. Slowly, ever so achingly slowly, I trail my now hardened nips down her butt to the top of her thighs. Ah, her hips are really grinding now. Inspired, I take my right booba in my hand and stuff it up into her behind, so she can feel my flesh all up and down her. Her heat rises even higher, and her hips are moving more furiously, sucking my booba into her.
Wait, wait a second. Are you trying to write a naughty scene in a romantic novel with two women doing it from behind, but they use a booba? What do you mean, suck it in?
Better babies. Gossard maternity corset, $5 prepaid. Wait, what do you mean better babies? Is the slogan heard everywhere? Diet and exercise gives perfect abdominal support. Wait, so you just shape the babies by squeezing them?
You want your baby to come out pretty, just like squishy, and you can form them like a little square or whatever you want. Super, yeah, it's probably healthy.
Well, laddies, lasses, and lasses, I do hope you enjoyed this absolute dumpster fire of a video, and I will see you again in the very near future. Take care. Mwah.